Hey folks, it's Maxwell here and welcome to episode 80 of the TW9 save with AEW. It's go home week for Full Gear. Hopefully most storylines will have decent amount of heat. I recognise there has been some stories that kind of maybe go missing for a week just because trying to get matches on and trying to cram a lot of stuff in a 2 hour show, and then same vice versa for Collision as well. But hopefully, as I say, it's in a good place. And then it is kind of like a soft reset for the month of December, effectively, with the Continental Classic. We'll be predominantly focusing on that. Obviously, I'll go to the same. We'll have a Collision group and a Dynamite group. But yeah, sit back, relax, and enjoy. First off, AEW Dynamite for Wednesday, the 19th of November. So I can't even remember where we booked this. I know we're in the Arena Auditorium, but the actual town and state, I don't know. So we'll just pretend. In about anyway, they had some good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Okada defeated Scorpio Sky in 8:23 with a Rainmaker. 95 performance from Okada. He only had to do 8 minutes work here, and he made it look so easy. 75 for the wrestling and a 70 segment here. Just giving him some momentum and a wee quick victory before the pay-per-view. Of course, the main event. So we'll lose heat with this little vignette. It was a video. It was just basically Excalibur talking down what is going to be happening at the pay-per-view, that main event. In 4 days, a battle of two titans goes down. One of the greatest wrestlers from America and one from Japan. That one from Japan holds many an accolade, plus it has the richest prize in our sport. A technical wrestler whose kicks can slowly break down an opponent against a wrestler who methodically can break you down and has the stamina of a lifetime. His endurance shown with his countless tournament victories. The Bisaku Ni versus the Rainmaker. Who wins? Who will be AEW World Champion? Find out this Sunday. So the video only gets a 66, sadly, but I am looking forward to Bryan Danielson versus Kazuchika Okada. Next up, we had a decent Wild Brawl match, and that was Samoa Joe picking up a victory over Big Bill in 9 minutes 11 by pinfall. A simple match to give Joe some positive momentum and to utilise our Wild Brawl match type. 69 overall, Joe 77. Good stuff. We have some words from Switchblade Jay White, and he says, "Now isn't it cute that we get a little report on Collision that Walter couldn't make it tonight and possibly won't make it to Full Gear either. It just shows the damage that I can do, how dangerous the Bang Bang Gang is. Listen folks, take it from me, Walter won't show up at Full Gear, so what we will witness is a forfeit and Jay White becoming your new AEW International Champion." So basically taking a lot of that kind of credit for the full Bang Bang Gang beatdown. 82 segment, the Walter's down storyline automatically advances because Walter is exclusive at this point on Collision, and the angle idea was a success. So that boosted it. Decent match up next, the Hurt Syndicate, Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley defeated Angelo Parker and Matt Menard in 7:51 when Bobby Lashley pinned Matt Lee with the spear, so it keeps changing whether he's Matt Lee or Matt Menard. I did re-sign him, his contract was weird, but anyway. 64, it's basically a squash match to make the Hurt Syndicate look very strong, which they did. This led to a few words from MVP on behalf of the Hurt Syndicate, and he said, "Right here, this is a team in sync. This is the Hurt Syndicate, and what we do is we hurt people. We this Sunday will go up against Aussie Open again, and let's be honest boys, you're a little bit all over the place. Tensions are there, they're high, and that will be your downfall. Shelton Benjamin, Bobby Lashley, and don't forget Powerhouse Hobbs in our ranks. We are the elite stable of this company." So their storyline advances, loses heat, but the big one, Hurt Syndicate rematch against Aussie Open, and that was 64. Decent match up next, we had Pac defeat Rocky Romero in 13:42 with the Black Arrow. This was our Steal the Show matchup. Rocky's not the most over in this one, hence only a 58. Pac gets a 79. Overall, a 71 rated segment. This leads to a few words from the Bastard, and he says, "So I had a little look at the match listing for Full Gear, and of course I know that I'm not in the card, but I saw someone interesting who isn't either, so I think a challenge will be made there. I want gold around my waist, and I'm not afraid of anyone. So this Sunday, I want you to step up Samoa Joe, and that TNT Championship will be mine." So a 76 segment, we are going Samoa Joe, the Bastard Pack for the AEW TNT Championship. So we have a little message from Will Ospreay. He's not been medically cleared to be there, so he speaks on the whole situation with Mark Briscoe. So he says, first up, as you can tell, I have been medically cleared to travel, so sorry to all the fans that I can't be there, but I do expect to make a full recovery to be there on Sunday, and I will fight Mark Briscoe again. Now Mark, you've done your best to hurt me, continually using a steel chair against me, so I think on Sunday it's only fair we throw the rulebook out the window and we have ourselves a no DQ match, meaning absolutely anything is legal. It's out of my comfort zone, but this is where I must reach to teach you a lesson, bruv. So 80 segment there for that. Their storyline gains a bit of heat. We will have the rematch of Ospreay and Briscoe, no DQ, this Sunday. Decent match up next with the team of Mercedes Moné and Megan Bayne defeat the team of Athena and Billy Starks in 11:05 when Megan Bayne submitted Billy Starks. Storytelling matchup because of Megan's injury. Of course, she'll be facing Io Shirai on Sunday. Mercedes carried the match up with her 72. 66s overall is okay. It's just basically giving our competitors a bit of momentum going in to Sunday. Still not taking Camille away for being Mercedes' manager. My bad. And after that, we basically just get a little thing where she accepts the challenge that Io offered. So she says that down to the camera and it zooms in on her after that dominant win. So that was a 71, which I believe takes us to main event time. Well, in fact, I think of one more angle than the main event. So we start off with Darby Allin, and he says, Brody King, Malachi Black, two of the toughest son of bitches that this company has to offer, and I've beaten both. My next step is Sunday in this rematch with Kenny Omega. My plan is to beat Kenny Omega, my plan is to be the Continental Champion, and my plan is to beat everyone, defend that title in the Continental Classic, and show you all that I'm the toughest son of a bitch in this company. This leads to Kenny coming out and just goes, Darby, Darby, Darby. Now listen, I'm not underestimating you, but if anything, your motivation, it inspires me. But don't ever look past me. When the stakes are high, I step up the gears. I know this is going to be a fighting Sunday, because, so bring your A game, because I'll bring mine. So 82 for that segment. Darby is starting to get a bit of respect from Kenny Omega. Kenny looked good in the segment. The storyline advanced and gained heat. So what I'll do as well is after the episode of Collision, after we round up the B shows, we'll go through the full match card. So I won't forget it, and we'll kind of look at what's been booked well and what's not been booked well. Main event time is going to be an 8-man tag, which actually delivered. So Kenny was in action. He joined the babyface team. It was about that had some great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. It was the team of Swerve Strickland, Kenny Omega and the Lucha Bros defeating Ua, Ricochet and the Death Riders, Cleo Castagnoli and Jon Moxley in 21:37 when Rey Fenix pinned Ua with the Meteora. So a bit of a momentum swing there in the title picture for the tags. During the matchup we had Eddie Kingston with a little distraction to Jon Moxley. Ua was the weak link with his 68 performance. After that next was Penta at a 77. So we have a lot of strong performers in that one. 83 for the wrestling, 85 segment overall. The war storyline between Eddie and Jon continues. So we finish our show with a 19 popularity regions. 19 regions being increased in popularity. That's good. It'll be, as I say, your Indias and your Oceanias, etc. So that's fine. Scandinavia. Fans were sort of disappointed. I suppose the Moxley interference was a storyline one there rather than an actual matchup, but again, that's just my booking preference. I do prefer to keep them as far away from each other before they collide at the pay-per-views. The locker room incidents before Rampage. Oh, Harley Cameron is back around QT Marshall. And apart from that, nothing else has happened. So, let's book Collision. Go home show Collision. Let's see how this does. I quite do a bit of storyline stuff here, so this may result in a pop loss, but it'll make everything tie together. Well, most things for Full Gear. So we start off the show with Matthew and Nicholas Jackson in the ring. And they say, so many of you are wondering why after all this time, why have we realigned with Hanger? You see, it's pretty simple. We know deep down he's our cowboy, and when we saw him in need, it was time to act. Of course, other scenarios probably sped this up, like the whole, well, Mark Briscoe losing his goddamn mind. But there was also one thing that really stuck out to us. MJF. Is this not like the fourth time you've tried to assemble a group together to take over this company? I mean, give it a break, man. But hey, if you won't stop, then we will stop it for you. We have no problem taking down you, your clone, Ricky Starks, or that monster, Wobble. The lights then dim, and we have three men standing on the Titan, well, in a video in the Titantron. Young Bucks, Hangman Page. The house has opened its doors, and we'll see you in the main event. So that is Malachi Black's words with Brody King and Buddy Matthews in tow, setting up our main event of the Bucks and Hangman versus them in our main event. But again, it was just making sure we're getting ready for MJF, Ricky Starks and Wardlow taking on the Bucks and Hangman. Segment was a 63, Buddy was underwhelming, Hangman was good, the Backbone loses heat in its storyline, and the Trios belt gained heat. So yeah, pretty decent stuff there. Opening contest was a great wrestling match with a decent reaction from the crowd as the team of AJ Styles and Nick Wayne defeated Aussie Open in 15:02 when AJ Styles pinned Mark Davis with the phenomenal forearm. We made this the steal of the show matchup. Nick Wayne was the weak link here with a 70, which shows you the high calibre of AJ Styles, Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher. 82 for the wrestling, 80 segment, obviously because it was under 16 minutes. Both storylines advance here. The tag scene has gained heat, and the Future Is Now segment also gained a bit of heat. So yeah, pretty solid opener. They go backstage and we hear from Kyle Fletcher, and he just says, Davis, this isn't good enough, man. Tomorrow night we have to fix this, we have to sort this, we have to win. If we lose to the Hurt Syndicate, then what is really left for Aussie Open? So their storyline advances and it gains heat, it loses heat, but 64. Then in the other side of the locker room, what a win that was early on. That felt good, says AJ Styles. A good win over two solid athletes. Nick Wayne then says, it was nice, AJ, but I think it should have been me who picked up the winning fall. Leads to AJ saying, don't start this again, Nick. And he says, AJ, I want to prove to you, to myself and to the world that I can do it on the biggest stage. That's why tomorrow night, let's run it back. This kid isn't a kid anymore. So that's how we get our rematch between these two. 61. This storyline loses heat, but it is going to be AJ Styles and Nick Wayne tomorrow night. Next up, we had a decent matchup. Io Shirai defeats Julia Hart in 8:40 with the moonsault press. Obviously, Julia's just back from, I believe, a pregnancy in-game and maternity leave. So basically, I felt like her working with Io was a good opportunity for her to develop as well. But at the same time, all the positive momentum in the world is with Io. This segment was a 70. Io got a 90. And she shone in this matchup. Julia was stale with her gimmick. And she's also rusty. So again, that's just going to take a bit of time. We then hear from FTR. And predominantly Dax Harwood, as he does. And he says, they say you should never meet your heroes. And in some cases, I call that absolute bullcrap. Or bullcrap. Me and Cash, we both met Bret Hitman Hart. What a man, a true legend, someone happy to give up their time and talk to you and help you. One thing that can't be said for Cope. Stealing time, a complete egomaniac who is all about me, me, me. And just watch, he'll sacrifice Christian Cage just like he sacrificed Chris Jericho. And how is old Chris? Have you heard from him? I thought not. At Full Gear, it will be rated R for Cope's retirement. So 62, looking forward to that one as we have FTR versus Christian Cage and Cope. Also a 62 was a decent matchup that saw Mariah May defeat her old friend Mina Shirakawa in 11:36 by submission with an octopus stretch. This was our storytelling matchup of the evening. 56 for Mina, a 59 for Mariah. Mariah was really off her game, so she would probably be in mid-60s. Overall at 62 as she carries momentum into her battle with Timeless Tori Storm. Then here from Swerve Strickland, he says, I'm going to keep this short and sweet because I want my actions to do the talking. Last week was a victory over Takeshita, albeit in a tag team scenario, but tomorrow night we're going at it one-on-one. Now I ain't crazy, I know how good Takeshita is, I know how dangerous the Don Callis can be, but I'm dangerous. Hell, even Nana's dangerous. To get where I want to get back to here in AEW, I've got to beat the best. Avenge those prior losses, and I'll be rewarded with that AEW World Championship. Because whose house? And this Sunday is Swerve's house. So a 79 for that promo. Their storyline advances. This is going to be a banger. I cannot wait for that one. Swerve Strickland, Kinosuke Takeshita. Next up, Powerhouse Hobbs destroys Kip Sabian in 418 with Frog Splash. 59. Yeah, just giving Hobbs some positive momentum. His performance was a 73. Sorry, Kip. We then hear from Kevin Steen, and he says, the past few weeks Orange Cassidy has continued to get under my skin, and it's really beginning to piss me off. I came here to AEW to be a world champion, not get to be flustered by some guy who can't be arsed half the time. But one thing that won't be half-arsed is the beating that I'm going to give you tomorrow, Orange. You will no longer be a problem for me, and I can go forward to become a champion. So Kevin benefits from a hot catchphrase. 73, those two go head-to-head tomorrow night. We then had a decent matchup that saw Adam Cole defeat Lee Moriarty in 13:25 with a boom. I don't feel Cole's stats are particularly great in this, which is maybe a reflection to his injury. So we're going to have him work to develop them. 64 for Lee, a 68 for Adam Cole, 70 overall. But then hear from Adam Cole. He says, I find it kind of cute that last week some losers decided to get involved in Adam Cole's business. Week after week, Tony Schiavone and that loser Nigel McGuinness are allowed to give me and other wrestlers abuse and crap. But hey, once we retaliate, we're the problem, we're the bad guy. So I'm not stupid, it's obvious what's happening here. Nigel isn't going to man up, and you two dorks are going to fight his battles for him. This leads to Nigel saying, now hold on just a bloody minute. I do my job respectively and to the best of my abilities, but remember one thing, Adam Cole, my ability in the ring, whilst not at its best, is still capable. Even more so with what I have had booked by Tony Khan, Jesse McKay and Scott D'Amore. Those friends of mine, Sammy Guevara, Daniel Garcia, they will stand alongside me tomorrow night as we challenge you three losers for the AEW Trios Championship. So that one is booked in. That is official Trios Championships on the line. Nigel McGuinness teams with Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia to battle Undisputed Kingdom's Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, Adam Cole. Backbone storyline advances. Cole looked good. Segment was a 69. And your main event was about to have some good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Hangman and the Young Bucks defeat the House of Black in 23-26 when Hangman, of course, pins Buddy Matthews with the Deadeye. So it was just a matchup to give them some positive momentum going into that matchup. No MJF on the show. The segment was an 81. You can see there Hangman by 92, Nicholas by 88, Malachi 74, Brody 70. Standout stuff. Their trio storyline advances, which is good to see as well. And overall, 77. I'm quite happy with that one. I don't feel with any particularly fantastic rated promos that we usually do. We don't lose pop, so that's good. And we gain popularity. We would have gained popularity in Oceania if it wasn't for the limited viewers. And we use Buddy Matthews too much, but we need to get Buddy over. Anything happened before the B shows? Absolutely not. So I'm going to quickly go ahead and book the B shows. We'll jump to the main screen. We'll have a look over, of course, the results from both B shows, and we will go over the card for Full Gear, and of course see if anything's happened in the world of professional wrestling. So it's time to round everything up, see what's happened in the world of wrestling, and yeah, go over your card for the next video, which of course will be AEW Full Gear. So Collision, the vast majority enjoyed the show, that's good to see. Shockwave, pretty good, happy with that one. NXT have Adrian Butler leaving, pretty sure that's the referee in it. Daryl Sharma is a retired Canadian wrestler, fair enough. Anything else there that directly affects us? Sanson's going to stay with Triple A. Fallon Henley's going to likely to re-sign with WWE. I wasn't particularly overly impressed with her stats and at her age. I felt like she wasn't going to improve too much. We are making a decision though, and it is the recruitment of Rico Kawahata, who will jump to Ring of Honor, and Walter Reed, who, if I recall, yeah, it was basically signed after coming through one of the dojos. Honestly, hasn't improved anything, but you know that way, 21, lots of scope to improve, so I'm going to stick her back to Ring of Honor and hope she'll develop, and we're obviously in contract negotiations with Hologram. Notes here, Karrion Kross has left WWE, so he's a free agent. Shinsuke Nakamura is as well. I don't think I'm going to entertain either at the moment. Maybe Nakamura at one point. 1.3 million viewers watched Collision, 2.7 for Shockwave, and Roy Regal says that Anthony Bowens is a natural talker. Wonder why that is, because he had an angle on Shockwave. So Rampage, we saw Ricky Starks defeat Kushida. That was a 73. Then had some words from Ricky Starks ahead of this upcoming Trios matchup, which was a 76. Fekla defeated Mi Saruga, which was a 53. We had some character development from Anna Jay, that was a 63. Rush defeated Tommy Billington in a 70. We then had a little segment combining the powers of positivity, Creed and Kofi, with Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia. That was a 68. And in our main event, it was the team of Garcia, Guevara, Kofi and Creed who defeated Alex Reynolds and John Silver from the Dark Order and Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, the Kingdom, in a 71 8-man tag. Shockwave saw Commander defeat Anthony Henry in a 62. We had some words from Adam Cole Baby, which was an 80. The Guns defeated the MXM Collection, which was a 59. After losing the last 3 to her, Yuka Sakazaki gets some revenge on Anna Jay, which was a 60. This led to a bit of frustration from Anna Jay, which was a 51. The Beast Mortos defeated Michael Oku in a 44. Both guys aren't over, so that was why that happened. Good promo though between Anthony Bowens there, which was a 70, assisted by Billy Gunn. Hologram over Mark Quinn was a 65. Quinn was massively off his game. I did a little angle between Becky and Julia Hart. I felt like if we at least try and get our popularity up a little bit, we can help Julia. I know I never really brought her back to much, just to lose effectively, but I feel there's a lot you need to work with before you can actually start putting her in regular programs, because the stats are obviously reflecting the fact she's quite inexperienced. Which is why we put her with Becky, and it was a 65. Becky was like an 80-odd performance to Julia in the 40s. So there's a lot of stuff I want to work on with development of our younger wrestlers, but that's going to take lots and lots of time. Speaking of something that'll take a lot of time, this pay-per-view is going to last a while. So let's run through the card. You can let me know your predictions in the chat below, or in the comments below. So obviously we've got Aussie Open taking on the Hurt Syndicate. We are going to see Megan Bayne take on Io Shirai. We're going to see the TBS Championship on the line as Timeless Toni Storm defends against Mariah May. We're going to have the TNT Championship on the line as Samoa Joe defends against the Bastard Pac. The Trios Championship as the Undisputed Kingdom, Roderick Strong, Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly defend against Sammy Guevara, Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness. The AEW Tag Team Championships are on the line as the Lucha Bros challenge Ricochet and Ua. Swerve Strickland will take on Takeshita. We've got FTR versus Christian Cage and Cope. We've got AJ Styles taking on Nick Wayne. Continental Championship on the line as Darby Allin faces Kenny Omega. Orange Cassidy versus Kevin Steen. Potentially, if he shows up, it's going to be the International Championship, Jay White challenging Walter. The AEW Women's Championship on the line as Mercedes Moné defends against Willow Nightingale, Becky Quinn and Bayley. We've got that no DQ matchup between Will Ospreay and Mark Briscoe. We have the Trios matchup, which will see Hangman Adam Page team up with the Young Bucks to face MJF, Wardlow and Ricky Starks. Could it be the end of the Death Riders? Could this be farewell between Mox and Claudio as Eddie Kingston takes on Jon Moxley? And your main event for the AEW World Championship, it will be Kazuchika Okada, the champion, taking on the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. So a fantastic pay-per-view to look forward to. Then straight into the Continental Classic after it, and on the road to World's End. I think the plan is as well, I've not really utilised them great in this, Gargano and Sammy. I'm hoping to at least get one of them into the Continental Classic, just to try and kickstart the run in this save. But at this point in time, I've an idea like 2 people who are in the Continental Classic, but we'll get there. So as always, thank you very much for watching, hope you enjoyed it. If there's any predictions you've got, let me know. And as always, check out the Fantasy Booker subreddit, Grey Dog Software forums, twdb.com and bethebooker.net, and I'll see you in a few days hopefully for some Full Gear. Bye bye.